I miss the old Kanye.
That's good. Yeah.
Wait.
Oh yeah. What?
Have you talked about the Drake video yet?
The one that we recorded?
No. Like the.
Oh, I think it was mentioned, but we can get into it.
That's definitely something I want to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice theme song, right?
It is. It's really nice. It's kind of like a mix between. Oh, the little fiddling.
Gotta get out of here for this one.
Dude, I hope you don't mind my dogs. Just
Dude,
out.
I was yeah, they're barking a little bit.
Oh, they're barking. They're gripping.
Well, I got. We'll get into your feet.
It's a long song.
It's about a minute and a half, I think.
That's pretty cool. Did you make it yourself?
No, that's Maxwell Scroggs on the
up, everyone?
theme
What's up?
song.
Thank you all for coming out here tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yes. You were talking about you having your feet out, and I have no problem with it. I think, there's probably members of the audience that, enjoy it.
I'm already on Feet Finder. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When you brush with the goats like I do, your name gets out there.
You get on Feet Finder,
You
dude.
get on Feet Finder. Dude.
Wow. What an intro. Without further ado, I mean, look, man, the show, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't probably the main draw of the show, it is my name.
Your name's in the show,
It's
dude.
so infused with me. But the reason I, started the show and continue the show to this day is because of the terrific cast of characters in my life.
Yeah.
And no one is, embodies that, more than the great, inimitable Ryan Duggan
What an intro.
on the show. A long time coming.
Wouldn't know how to spell that word.
Which one? Inimitable?
Yeah.
That's fine. And, we'll get into, you have trouble spelling.
Right.
We'll get,
I'd prefer to talk about the Drake video.
we'll get into the Drake. We got a lot to get to today. It's going to be, Charlie's barking already. She'll settle down.
She's a fan.
She is a fan, and we've had to, for a lot of the show, she's been on set, hanging out, but she causes a lot of chaos when she's, here. So,
I mean, we get along in that regard.
yeah, you like to
I'm a bit of a
mess
chaos
things up a
causer.
little bit. You're entropic. You have entropy.
gotta stop,
We don't know
bro.
where you're going, dude. You're fucking chaos, and we do live together.
That is true.
And I've been, I gotta nail Ryan down. We're gonna get Ryan, and
I mean, I've just been so busy,
yeah.
Life, it comes at you hard, it comes at you fast. But I come harder and I come faster.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
They're listening, right? Your parents are listening. Your girlfriend's listening.
Shout out Hannah
assumedly.
Benavides.
Yes.
My
Hannah,
love.
who would also be a great guest on the show if she ever. Do you think she ever? Does she
She'd
do?
be the best guest.
Does she do podcast appearances? Is that something she'd be open to?
Oh, yeah. I'll hit her up.
Wow.
Actually, my people will talk to her people.
Yeah.
And they'll suck her in your people.
reps. Yeah, and I got my reps, and we can all.
And all our people.
All of our management.
Our
can,
people will talk with each other.
That'd be good. So we want to get to the Drake video. We want to talk about the Drake video.
I mean,
and we got a game.
eventually,
We
yes.
got a game planned later that'll probably take up a fair amount of time. But I want to get into how far back do you want to go? In terms of getting to how we got to this moment in time.
I mean, I have a notoriously bad memory.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
Long
pretty
term,
much,
short term, both.
mostly long term. My short term memory is all right.
It's pretty decent.
So I mean, if we go way far back,
It's
it's
just
like
gonna
when
be
I
a
got
little fuzzy,
born.
yeah.
It's like I don't remember that at all.
Do you attribute your sort of memory shortcomings to anything, or that's just kind of the way life goes?
It's actually interesting because that's definitely something I've thought about, especially recently, because it's not a thing that's particularly present in my family, aside from like my old relatives getting dementia or Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
But like
that happens.
I'm a young buck.
Right.
Okay? It ain't happening to
Young
me.
bull.
Yeah. So I don't know, but no, most of my family members all have pretty good
Pretty
memories.
sharp.
So
But
I don't know
something
why.
skipped you, and it just gets a
Yeah.
little fun. Oh, that's fine. You know, maybe it's this new generation and all their screens.
Yeah, all this damn
All their
TikTok I've
screen
been
time.
on, I can't remember anything longer than 10 seconds. I swear.
But I think you are the first Ohio native on the show. And it's not like, I.
You
And
asked
it's
me on
not
here
like
to
I-
talk about Ohio? Is
Well, I
that it?
wanted to touch on it a little bit. It's not like I actively discriminate against Ohio, but I do
can.
have some implicit bias towards Ohio.
Naturally.
You are a Michigan man.
Michigan
through and
blood.
through. You're a
Course
national
is true, my
champion
man.
is
I'm
what
a
you are.
we're national champions.
We
dude.
are. Dude.
Every Wolverine is a national champion.
Yeah. But from Ohio.
Yeah.
Like, talk to me about, because in my, like, I just have always had this just like, I imagine Ohio and Michigan, especially like the towns that we grew up in, are
Mhm.
probably very, very similar. But I've always just had like I don't know, I don't want to call it a superior. I've looked down on Ohio for pretty much.
Yeah,
my
I mean,
entire life.
and I think that's a natural thing to do because Ohio is like as mid and as average as states come. Like I really, there's not much bad I can say about it. I
Yeah.
mean, our biggest city is Cleveland.
Yeah.
And Cleveland's known for having the largest outdoor chandelier and the largest stamp. Those are our two attractions.
Wait, how big is the stamp?
It's actually really big.
Like side of a building type?
yeah,
stamp?
Yeah,
Okay.
like a size of a single family apartment.
Okay, that's big postage.
Yeah,
right there.
like it would fit in our living room, but just
Yeah.
barely.
Okay.
It
Well,
says
that's kinda
free
cool.
on it.
It just says free.
Yeah, and every time I've taken a friend to see it, I'd be like, "Oh, it's free. Let's take it."
Let's steal it.
And it's funny
Nice.
because there's no way
Everyone
we could.
laughs.
It's so big. Like, how
Yeah.
can we take that?
You get put on
It's
top
also
of your car.
probably super illegal.
Well, I would
to take
imagine
an
it's
art
it's a
installation.
city monument almost.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame too.
I was gonna
right?
say you had the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
That's
but no one listens to rock and roll these days.
What?
It's all
Yeah.
about the Katy Perrys and
It's all
and the
pop.
Drakes and
It
the
did all-
Justin
it-
Biebers.
yeah,
Shout out
pop
Justin
music.
Bieber though.
Shout out J Beebs.
Yeah.
Uh,
JB's actually kind of the goat.
I mean, I've been obviously it was when we were young people. Like, I remember being on the playground as a young lad, and you didn't want to be caught dead listening to JB. But I will say this: everyone was listening to JB. Everybody had
Facts.
Baby playing in the headphones.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
and yeah,
I'm not afraid to admit it. I was back in middle school, elementary school. I was a stout JB defender. Like literally,
That's
I
sick.
would listen to him all the time,
yeah.
and all my friends would be like, "Oh, you listen to Justin Bieber? That guy's so
Yeah.
whatever middle schoolers say."
That's for girls.
Yeah, and I was just like, you guys are kind of just jealous that he's
He's like,
way more successful,
Yeah.
gets way more bitches than you. Like this kid is like maybe at this point 5 years older than us, and he has the
Right.
world in the palm of his hand.
and that's what it
you're just
was.
mad. You're mad.
Everyone that hated Bieber to that extent wanted to be Bieber.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously,
You pick any Justin Bieber hater from our lifetime and say, would you swap places with him? 100% I'm saying yes.
Yeah, easily.
And if they're saying
well,
no,
maybe
they're
not
lying.
now.
Well, I do. Come on.
I heard
Maybe not
he's
100.
got some kind of facial degenerative disease that's like
Really?
paralyzing him in the face. Yeah,
I mean, he's probably rich enough to fix it.
He could probably find a cure to that.
He can probably find a cure. If anyone, he can.
But yeah, you think that? I mean, I agree. Rock has. We don't have like a real true rocker these days. And I also think when people think rock and roll, they don't really think Cleveland.
Yeah.
When you think like Rock City, you're like, I don't know, you're like
London?
Seattle or fucking
Yeah.
London rockers,
Rock and roll.
yeah, Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of an interesting topic because I do think there's this conversation that a lot of people have saying like rock and roll is dead. Like
Yeah.
no one makes good music anymore. You're wrong.
Really?
Good music exists.
Well, yeah, good music exists.
Rock still exists.
Who's are there? Well, yeah. Well, and this is actually good. You're a big like kind of contemporary rock
Yeah.
fan. Shout out, spit some game to the listeners. Like,
All right, I'm about to put you on the Rex.
Yeah.
If you're not already on it, you
Yeah.
gotta get on it. They're so unbelievably good. I saw them-
WRECKS.
Yes, WRECKS.
The
They have
Rex.
2 albums out.
Got it.
They came out with their first EP 2018, and I discovered them just randomly because they opened for a concert I went to. I think it was New Politics, which is another good modern group. But yeah, they opened for them. I was like, yo, fuck New Politics. Like, I literally
The Rex are fucking awesome.
I was like, yo, the Rex know how to open a
Nice.
show. Goddamn. And I think I've been to 6 Rex concerts
Damn.
in the last 2 years.
Cool.
And every single one, they are so good live. If they ever have a live show sometime near here in the future, I'm taking everyone here.
Yeah, I would go.
We
to that
gotta
with
go.
you
They're
for
so
sure.
insane. I mean, Arctic Monkeys,
Yeah,
the goats.
that's your
goats.
go-to.
I mean, they are the goats.
Okay.
They got robbed.
Of?
The whatever the music awards are, the
Grammys?
Yeah, they didn't win the Grammy. They got robbed.
They were nominated and got
robbed.
Who stole it from them?
I don't know,
Do you
probably
remember?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna play
You
sound
got
effect. that can stand on its
But
own. Speaking of the Rex, it is, as of recording, our buddy Rex's birthday.
Oh my gosh,
And
it's
I
Rex's
thought
birthday.
you have a little birthday
I
tradition
do.
you like
I have
to do.
I have a little ritual I do.
You like to go Marilyn Monroe mode.
Marilyn Monroe is the inspiration.
President.
But what I like to do every time it's one of my friends' birthdays
Mm-hmm.
is I take my phone like this and I selfie record.
A little
And I
Marilyn
sing them.
Monroe style. So you guys are getting an inside look into this.
This is
This
for Rex.
will be nice for Rex's birthday.
All right, quiet, please. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Rex. Happy birthday to you. I gotta send that to him before I forget.
Yeah,
Thank you.
send that out.
You know what? I actually think that
That was nice.
I actually think that so I I work at my boss's house,
Yeah.
and everyone in that house is a singer, and they all sing, and so I think my singing's actually gotten better.
That's that.
From
That sounded
exposure
good.
therapy.
That sounded good.
Thanks. I mean,
Honestly.
you got my video yesterday. It was your birthday.
That was very
just
nice.
yesterday.
Yes.
Happy birthday! Do
Thank
the clappy
you.
thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that was that put a huge smile on my face getting.
I mean,
that,
that's the goal.
that video. Yeah. So let's keep on trucking. So Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland. Yeah.
What did you like? What kind of a student were you in high school?
Oh man, dude, I just was popular, quarterback, captain of the football team.
Total jock.
Total jock. I benched 7,000 pounds.
I ran that campus.
No, high school is fine. Honestly,
Yeah.
most of my friends in high school were either kind of nerdy because I was a really smart kid,
Yeah.
or played games because that was what I did most of my free time in high school. I mean, I was a 3-sport athlete.
Yeah, you were an athlete.
Tennis,
Student
soccer,
athlete.
ultimate frisbee.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. What was your favorite of those?
Dude, ultimate frisbee, dude.
Really?
It's unreal. I
Okay.
actually got a frisbee right there.
Yeah, I see
we
that.
gotta go toss some discs.
Dude, once I'm back
sometime.
in shape, I would like to
It's
go out
so
and
fun.
throw some discs.
It's literally like my happy place is throwing
Word.
frisbee.
My buddies were big disc golf guys.
Don't even get me started. There's quite some beef between ultimate players and disc golf
because
players.
ultimate's like a sport, and disc golf is more of a leisure activity.
Yeah, it's
It was something that my friends could do to smoke weed on school property during the day or whatever.
I don't think disc golf
That's what we did.
legalizes smoking.
Well,
weed.
it
You
didn't
could have done
legalize
something
it,
else.
but that was the quickest. That was the easiest way for. It was a nice excuse for teachers or administrators or parents to be like,
Yeah.
just going disc golfing with the buddies. And we had a disc golf course at school.
That's pretty cool.
And once you got into the woods, that was open range to, to do whatever the hell you wanted. But coming out of school, so you were a smart guy, and you left school thinking like, I'm gonna be an engineer.
yeah, that was fun.
And is that what gets you? Because there's Michigan in your blood, right?
Oh yeah, my dad went to Michigan. My grandma went to Michigan. I think I have uncles that went to Michigan. Mayor of Detroit, shout out, Mike Duggan.
Mike Duggan, if you're in Detroit and you're an eligible voter, make sure you vote in the next Detroit gubernatorial. Right?
Yeah.
You like that?
Dude, you know all the words.
The next gubernatorial election. I think that's a really funny word. Vote for
Goober.
Mike Duggan for mayor of Detroit.
Yeah, shout out. He's
Doing
Michigan
a great
alum.
job. Michigan alum,
Yeah,
dude.
Michigan
Go blue.
alum. Go blue.
And so that draws. So it's pretty much like you're going to Michigan.
Yeah. So Michigan, growing up, I mean, from conception, I was a Wolverine. I watched Michigan football, Michigan basketball all my life. I remember one of my favorite childhood memories growing up is at the beginning of every Michigan football season, my dad had a cassette, like a cassette of the, you know, the like the long version of the Michigan fight song. Before the opening game of every Michigan season, he put that cassette tape in, and we'd listen to it maximum in the house.
Oh, that's nice.
It was really great.
That's
and then,
so nice.
Yeah, I just grew up watching Michigan football, unfortunately, in my growing up time.
We
had to go through Rich Rod and Brady Hoke.
Exactly.
So.
Our fathers were like, this is not what it's supposed to be like. Like I remember
was
multiple
so real.
It was crazy. Do you remember your first Michigan game?
Yes, I actually do. I actually have the newspaper from that Michigan game and the ticket saved. They're in Ohio. They're not with me.
That's fine.
I wouldn't want them to get destroyed or damaged.
Right.
But no, it was. I can't remember the year, but it was when Tate Forcier was starting quarterback. Denard Robinson was there, but he was back up.
Yeah.
So it was
2010.
It was
probably.
Was that Rich Rod or Brady Hoke?
I think that would have been last year of Rich Rod. Maybe first year.
Yeah, because Brady maybe one.
It's one of those
era.
two. Yeah.
But it was Michigan versus Illinois, and it was I believe 67-64 triple overtime game. That was my first ever Michigan football game.
Whoa! Wow. I mean,
triple over 67. That score could be slightly incorrect. I know it was in the 60s, but that was my very first.
It was 67-64. Yeah.
I think so, and it was
Holy
triple overtime.
cow!
And absolute
pandemonium.
It was pandemonium. It was everything I could have expected.
Oh man!
I remember so very clearly the what was his name? Something Hemingway.
Yeah.
The catch he made on the Illinois player's helmet. I remember that clearly. I also remember it was, I think, Michigan's triple overtime run because I was in the stadium, and everyone in that stadium was on the edge of their seats. You know, naturally, it's triple overtime, 60-point game.
Yeah.
We weren't close. We were like kind of back up in the stands, but from where I was, the stadium got so quiet, 100,000 people. You could hear a pin drop. I could hear Tate Forcier hike the ball.
Yes, that's so cool.
I could hear his snap count.
That's so
and him hike the
cool.
ball. And then he threw a touchdown on that play, and what a first game to go to.
I mean, we have a couple Michigan diehards that I'm sure will know the game, but like that is considered one of like the most legendary games ever played at the Big House. Maybe the highest scoring game ever there.
It was, and also it was. At a moment in Michigan football where everyone's just like, "Oh, we fucking suck.
We needed something.
We suck," and so
something
it was
exciting.
It was just so. It was perfect.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you get to Michigan.
I get to Michigan
as an engineering.
Yes, I
major.
applied to Michigan to be through the engineering school. That's the one I got into.
And what kind of engineering did you want to do?
Aerospace.
No, you wanted to build rockets.
Yeah. So when I first got in, I actually decided I wanted to be an aerospace engineer in high school because I was taking an astronomy class. And in my high school, we were fortunate enough to have a planetarium inside our high school. Like you turn the lights off and you could see the stars. It was all mechanical too. It wasn't digital. It was fucking cool.
Sick.
And I remember there was one day where my teacher, she put up the stars or whatever, and we were saying it's a dark planetarium. They had like recliner chairs so you can like go back and look up at the stars. And she played David Bowie's Rocket Man.
Nice.
As we were looking at the stars, and I was just. And at this point, I've been fascinated with space all my life and, space exploration and all that. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go to school to build rockets, to send people to space. And then I went to school to build rockets. And I found out
this shit sucks.
First of all, most rockets are kind of the same. Like, rockets have been pretty streamlined.
There's not much innovation in that field anymore.
I mean, I think there is lots of innovation, of course, but I think a lot of the innovation today with most technologies is more electrical engineering and chemical engineering, like trying to figure out, how can we make the computers on the rockets, because they're all run by computers.
Yeah.
How do we make them? How do we make the program smarter, more intelligent, more efficient? And then especially the chemical engineering. What is the best concoction of rocket fuel
that's going to be efficient
will get us to where we're going?
That's interesting.
And so the actual design of itself wasn't that interesting, but even above all that, I was just like, okay, cool, I'll design planes because planes are really cool too.
Yeah.
And there was a short period of my life where I thought about going to pilot school, and then I saw how expensive pilot school was, and I said, oh no,
Fuck that.
But
Damn, you
planes are
almost
really
wanted to be
cool,
a
and also
flyboy.
planes are, there's lots of different types of planes.
Yeah, did you ever consider joining up at the military academy, doing fighter pilot?
Yeah, I did, dude.
Going Top Gun?
I wanted to go
Dude,
Top
you're
Gun.
almost Maverick.
I
You
was almost Maverick. I
mode.
thought about it. I really did
That's
think
awesome.
about it, but I don't know.
That's awesome.
I don't want to die, so.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is. Like I would want to fly the fastest planes, right? But like I don't want people shooting at me.
Yeah, you would like to be a teacher, maybe.
Right,
A flight teacher.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and then I found out that through my first year of engineering that aerospace engineering is mostly just programming and sitting
It's
at a
coding.
computer and coding stuff.
Damn.
Because you're calculating all the fluid dynamics of the air.
I guess that
calculating
makes sense.
all the wind and blah blah and lift and blah blah blah.
Drag, yeah.
All that boring shit. And I remember very clearly sitting my freshman year. I was working on an engineering assignment. I was coding in MATLAB, and if anyone uses MATLAB, they know it.
We probably have one or two listeners that know what MATLAB is.
I mean, MATLAB, I hear is goated once you get used
Once
to
you
it.
know
But
it.
learning MATLAB for me, and from what I remember, most of my peers was awful. I remember sitting in the Duderstadt, the
Mhm.
library on North Campus, because I lived there freshman year in Bursley. No shout out. And I remember sitting there and thinking to myself, is this what I want to be doing 5 years from now? Like, do I want to be sitting
Hold
at
up.
Raytheon and
Halliburton.
yeah,
Yes.
and just being sitting
Just
at a
plugging
computer
away.
coding random coefficients, and I was just like, no,
No, I don't want to do that.
no, it
Yeah.
sounds like it's so boring. It
Yeah.
sounds like I'd be locked in. So my sophomore year of college, I took classes in I think 11 or 12 different majors.
Damn.
Yeah, I really played the field.
Whoa.
I-
whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So you really wanted to see
Yeah, 'cause
something
I
here is
mean,
going to click with me.
Engineering is a thing where it felt like I wasn't having fun, but I knew I would have pretty solid prospects
Yeah.
leaving college, especially with a Michigan engineering degree. Go Blue.
Yes. Go Blue.
But I don't know. I just wanted to find something that felt like it grabbed me and pulled my attention. And I remember taking, at the time it was SAC, now it's FTVM.
Yeah.
But I think it's 236. Is that the intro class?
It was SAC 236, and now it's FTVM 150.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to
Well,
film majors at
yeah.
University of Michigan.
SAC 236 when I took it. And the class was horrible. It was it's I think the worst class in the film.
Yeah, it's
degree
the
is
weed
that
out class.
It's
Yeah.
awful. But I don't know. There's something about telling stories
Mm-hmm.
and experiencing what everyone has to say that's always fascinated me and captured me. And also, growing up, I've always been a really strong writer and storyteller. And so that aspect of it all really captured and fascinated me. And so I was just like, fuck it, let's do film.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You like
And
that?
I also lived with Andrew Armstrong.
I was going to say, so then you start meeting some other
Yeah.
people that are doing it.
yeah,
they kinda
they're
pull
all
you
cool.
in.
Yeah. I mean, it
And
was.
so you're doing stuff, and so then now I'm going to skip forward a little bit.
Skip forward. I
to when
graduated.
to when we meet.
Oh, yeah. Terry Saris.
Because we meet in this, what has
Sketch
become
comedy.
a renowned and often brought up part of this show, which is Terry Saris' sketch comedy class. Because that's how I met
classic.
so many people.
It's
and
classic.
we did so many cool things, and that's where
Yeah.
we met. And my first impression of you
I'd love to hear it.
was, this dude's a wild card. I can't get a read on this guy. I don't know what he's about. And I knew Ariel and Inesh a little bit. We're much closer, like, since completing the class, obviously, but I probably knew them the strongest going into that class. And they were like, I remember Ariel telling me, like, this dude Ryan is he's crazy. I don't know what to make of him, but and we actually me and Ben talk about the banana peel sketch that you wrote, which we think is a travesty that didn't get made, because that was hilarious. And well, I guess what I want to know is, what was your first impression of me, if you remember it?
My first impression of you was like, yo, this guy probably gets mad bitches. I saw you and just the charisma and just absolute command you took of every female gaze in that room.
Oh my god,
was unparalleled.
That's a mischaracterization, I think.
It's not
but
at
thank
all.
you.
Honestly, I I don't remember my first impression of really anyone.
Yeah.
Because funny enough, I don't think anyone except Terry Seriously knows that's the second time I took that class.
Whoa, I did
Yeah.
not know that. You
The
took it with Craig?
I think it was with him, but that was it the remote semester?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was the first. No, because they kicked us out in the middle of the semester, and then the first fully remote semester, I actually withdrew. From all of your
classes?
All my classes, yeah, from the
Just
semester.
like, I'm not going to pay.
Yeah, I got halfway through the semester, and I was just having the worst time of my life.
Yeah. It was really tough.
And I really struggled without having that physical classroom experience. And so I ended up withdrawing from that semester, which is why I was actually in sketch this semester, because I ended up taking an extra semester. So
nice.
Had I not dropped Craig, I would never met you.
Yeah, we would have never. God,
that's crazy.
Damn. Man, well, I'm glad you did. And I guess, Wet Towel was our big moment on screen. That's a great sketch to this. I'm sure I'll splice in a clip of it right here.
For this is a war crime. How do you dry off with a wet towel and still have the, oh my God, can you stop that?
Come on, man, this is ridiculous. We have more mold than carpet in this house. I can't keep living like this.
Every time I walk through here, I feel like I'm coming back from the pool in Motel 6.
And
just make sure it's not the clip of me waterboarding myself.
I think it might be. Well, it'll be it'll be one of the opening clips, I think. But that was me, you, and Ben.
That was
sharing the screen together.
Was.
And that was, I think, kind of like a prototype to some of the stuff that we're starting to make now, just in terms of just like how it felt. Like I felt like the back and forth and the style of what we had in that sketch was it clicked. I just thought it was so funny while we were doing it, and I could just see it so clearly. So Wet Towel, man, what a sketch. Go watch Wet Towel on the Open Stomach Global YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so that's your last semester.
That was my last semester at Michigan.
So
after that.
at the Open Stomach Global premiere, I'm like, Ryan, dude, hell yeah. Great making stuff with you. I understand you're leaving, and you're like, yeah, I'm gone. And then I didn't see you.
Nope.
For
a year.
A long time.
I actually forgot so much how much younger you all were than me. I left college like, oh, I'll see these guys in a few months. A year and a half later. Oh shit, I forgot. People can be younger than I am.
Well, I got the summer, so you left in the winter. There was another semester.
Winter 21.
And then that summer, I'm making something with Ariel, Blood Summer, we've talked about on the show. And I get a FaceTime call from friend of the program, Tommy Unold, TikTok sensation and friend of the program.
TikTok
And
Tommy.
he's FaceTiming me, and he's there with our fellow 269 buddy, Alec Carlson. And they're like, dude, do you know this guy? And they pan the camera, and there's Ryan Duggan.
Playing poker with him?
Playing cards. And I'm like, know him. Like, we acted on screen together a couple, like, I feel like I can call him a pretty good friend, honestly, after how, like, we spent some good time together. And he was just like, man, you were wearing the Michigan shirt. And they're like, we just got to talking about Michigan. And it was just a very small world moment that made me be like, damn, that's so cool. And there was also, when I came out the next year this is a small tangent, but I stayed on Ariel and Mary's couch, and we did go out one night, I believe.
Yeah.
When we played a game.
Yeah.
That was just kind of a fun thing that we did before we ended up living together.
Yeah.
Just trying to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
But the reason that you were playing cards with Tommy and Alec is
my job.
Which how much do you want to talk about it?
I'm fine with talking about my job.
I think people would find it interesting.
Yeah, I work as a personal assistant / creative director for influencer, musician, which honestly nowadays it's more musician influencer.
Yeah.
Alex Warren, shout out. Go stream before you leave me.
Before you leave me, Alex Warren, go stream.
Yep. Go stream it.
But okay, so it's interesting. I like the story of how you got the job, because I think it's a cool, like, just sort of, story about the industry as a whole.
Yeah. So after I graduated from Michigan, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll find a job soon. It's a lie, especially in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
I was applying for jobs basically as my full-time job for 5 months.
Yeah.
Trying to find anything, and I had even on my resume had said that I lived in LA, which was not true at all. I was living with my parents in Ohio. Shout out my parents, Tim and Albina.
I'm sure they're listening. We are very appreciative of you, and it was great to meet you.
Yeah. I was at home applying for jobs for 5 months straight, and then I went on, I think it's
Careers.net.
Yeah, entertainmentcareers.net, and there was one that just said personal assistant for A-list content creator, and I was just like, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
And
we're
I
firing
applied
this thing
for it.
off.
And
yeah.
then it was so funny, 5 months hearing nothing, pretty much nothing from 90% of people. Honestly, 95% of people just don't get back to you.
Right.
And then within like 30 minutes, his manager texted me or sent me an email. And he's just like, hey, your resume looks really good. Would love to get on the phone and talk with you. And I said, okay. And then we scheduled a call. The call we scheduled was I had some sort of layover, I think in Denver on my flight back, because I applied for a job while I was visiting LA.
Nice.
And I had some layover, I think in Denver, and we scheduled the call for during my layover. So I was in the airport talking with him on the phone.
Hoping you don't miss your
yeah.
flight. Checking the times.
And he calls me, it's just like, hey, we liked your resume, whatever. And it's like, do you know who Alex Warren, the Hype House is? And I was just like, no.
Never heard of that.
I said, I mean, I heard of them, but I was like, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it was just an interview and they liked me. And then he said, hey, I think that you could be a good fit. How soon would you be able to interview with Alex? Like go to his house, Alex's house, and talk with him. And keep in mind, on my resume, I said I lived in LA.
Right.
So I was like,
and you're currently flying home.
Flying home to Ohio.
From LA
where I
in
live.
Denver to Ohio.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, oh. So I told him, I lied. I said, it's my parents' anniversary this weekend, so I'm actually visiting them in Ohio. But I can come back next
After
week.
that?
Yeah. And so he's just like, okay, sounds good. And I also had at the time an interview with Sony, their production, Sony Productions, whatever.
Cool.
I don't know what it's called. But they had also interviewed me that same week, or scheduled to interview me in person that same week. And so I got home and I went to my parents' room. I said, hey, I think I have to move to Los Angeles this weekend.
How do they take that, dude?
I mean, they were just like, oh, okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Why? How?
And so I explained the whole thing to them, and literally within 4 days, I packed my car.
Damn.
With all my stuff, and I drove across the country.
Damn.
With nothing but my
A
computer
dream.
and my clothes to my name.
Yeah. Man, that's a beautiful story,
and
though.
I interviewed with him, and it was the weirdest interview I've ever been in, because I walked in I was kind of just semi-formal, because I was, it's a job interview.
Yeah.
I think he was in like shorts and a t-shirt, and his friend Michael, shout out Michael Sansone,
who also had a
His
song just come out.
released,
Yeah.
Stream Home. He was in his underwear,
Nice.
and he just had his 3 dogs and cats just running
Right.
around. He sat me on the couch. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah. And you were starting to get a feel for what this world might be
I was
like.
just like, that's crazy. But no, it was he. After the interview, he said, "How soon can you start?" And I said, well, "Honestly, I mean,
got
at this
nothing
point, I
going on."
committed."
Yeah, right.
And so
I'm
I
here.
said, "I can start tomorrow." He's like, "All right, cool. You start tomorrow." And
Nice,
I've been
dude.
working with him for like almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
Started off as kind of a more traditional personal assistant role, but since I've become more, he calls me his creative director now.
Nice. That's nice.
Which is
That
kinda
feels
hype.
nice.
Yeah, it feels nice.
Yeah.
Feels directorial.
Yeah. And you're putting shit together and,
Yeah.
and you're moving up, and
Yeah.
you've also you also appear in a music video.
I do.
Pretty
I
heavily.
appear in a music video I produced, actually.
Got
that producer credit. And an AD credit.
Ooh, dude,
Yeah.
you can start an IMDb page here pretty soon.
I need to, bro.
Damn. So that's that's a nice story. I like that story, and I think it's inspiring to anyone that wants to do something
Yeah,
similar.
just keep plugging away. Something will end.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, dude. And that's That's Alex Warren. Shout out Alex
What are we
Warren.
putting on the TV?
I'm sure. Well, I think it's about time that we play a game. What do you think?
I mean,
I've been
I'm a bit of a
teasing you.
gamer.
I've been teasing you with this game for a long time, and it's. I guess it's not as much of a game as it is an activity.
I love activities. I love games. I can make pretty much any activity into a game.
I like the sound of that. One thing that I learned about you recently
Oh yeah.
is that you're a big fan of the show Suits.
Oh yeah, I am. I binge watched the series. I think I watched it. The first 4 episodes on the plane ride home for New Year's. So like Christmas time, January time. And then I got back and I binged watched the series. I think I did 3 all-nighters within a week of just watching Suits. I just couldn't stop watching. It's
Like a
electric.
drug, yeah.
So yeah, I went through the series quite fast.
Yeah, and
So,
in my
big fan.
recovery, I got to be on the couch and catch a few episodes with you, and liked the show. Really loved your passion for it,
Mm-hmm.
and but you know, I never could have, like, I never thought that I could be a lawyer just because of all the reading and whatnot.
Yeah, lawyers are nerds.
Yeah.
Lawyers, doctors, engineers.
It's all a bunch of bullshit that I could never do. But I do like.
I read books for a living.
I like the idea of winning arguments in front of people, right?
Oh, jeez. Okay.
But that's but really, you know, most of my knowledge of the law comes from TV and movies,
Right.
fictional lawyers.
Naturally.
And watching Suits, I was like, all right, well, these guys seem like they're pretty badass lawyers.
right.
But man, there's so many iconic, you know, fucking no nonsense, gonna win the case no matter what lawyers throughout TV and movie history.
Yeah.
So I thought, what if
Oh boy.
we made a tier list of many fictional
Whoa,
TV
this list is kind of crazy.
and movie lawyers. So this is
Get OJ to walk is crazy.
So this
Even in
is-
civil?
so what I've compiled here is 14 fictional lawyers, and I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna. It's gonna be weird having, you know, one by, like, just for the video viewers.
Right.
I'm probably gonna have this screen at the start and then the end screen. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through each of these lawyers and we're gonna assign them to a tier, and then we're gonna discuss why we
Right.
think they're in that tier, and hopefully that'll eat up enough time to get us to the end of this episode. So first, so the tiers we have are the top tier of fictional lawyer, God of Law.
Nice.
You know, kind of self-explanatory.
Right.
Next tier could get OJ to walk, even in civil. We know that the Johnny Cochran did get OJ off of his
Yes.
criminal case. So this would be a Johnny Cochran level
Right.
lawyer, but even farther. Next we have solid partner. You know, this guy, he's a solid partner. He's not anything, you know, to scoff at, surely, but he's not necessarily someone that. Yeah.
Right.
Next, we got public defender, maybe.
Maybe.
At this point, we're getting into guys that, you know, if you had a real bad night in the drunk take, this guy showed up, you're like, oh, brother, I'm gonna be
I
doing
think this is where I'd
community
put
service.
myself. I know
You think you
I
could
know
do it?
zero like actual law, but I would put myself.
You think you
there.
could do public
Yeah.
defender?
I mean, being a lawyer is one of those things, you know, that I have that complete unearned confidence. Like,
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, if I feel like if I studied for the LSAT, I'd get a
You
good
could
score.
pass.
Like, come on.
Next, we have paralegal at best. I'm not really sure what that means.
That's kind of
Reductive of
yeah.
the paralegal
I feel like
profession.
that's similar to putting like nurse at best on a doctor tier list.
Okay, well,
Like shout out nurses, shout out paralegals.
and I
They
didn't mean it that way. I
got a backbone.
I
They're
put
the
this
backbone of
because
the law.
I'm not entirely sure what a paralegal does, but in my head,
They're basically like legal nurses.
okay.
They do all the hard work.
Okay. But in my head, like,
They just don't
anyone
have
that is a
the
paralegal probably
doctorate.
wants to be a lawyer at some point.
Yeah.
Is that true? I
I
don't know
don't
if that's
know.
true.
I feel
But I
like
did
that's-
know in the few episodes I watched, Rachel from Suits
Yes.
was a paralegal. and wanted
Goated
to be a lawyer.
paralegal.
Yeah. And then next, I think I'll represent myself. This is for the lawyers on here that you would really rather trust, yourself.
Right. I'm glad there's lots of Suits characters in here.
There are.
Because there's a couple faces I'm not familiar with.
Okay. That's what I expected. I tried to pick people that I hoped that you would know. So do we want to start with the Suits characters? Do
No,
we want
I think we
just
go left to right.
All right, sounds good. We'll go left to right.
Run it.
So the first
Atticus Finch.
the first fictional lawyer is Atticus Finch. And what tier off the top of your head? I'm thinking.
It's Atticus Finch is an interesting one because he is like a public defender, like a lawyer of the common man.
He took a case that really nobody else was going to touch.
Right. And he did a really good job, obviously. Shout out Atticus Finch.
Shout out Atticus Finch.
But I mean, the thing is, he's from a different time, different era, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if he'd cut it in this modern day of corporate law.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You know what?
I wish there were a category that was public defender, definitely, because I put him in that one.
I can add another tier. Should I?
No,
I'm not going to.
But I do think I would put him at public defender. Maybe I think his biggest drawback is he clearly knows his way around, emotional arguments.
Yes.
And, which is not like a bad thing. It's,
right.
I think the law, and especially the way we have our law system set up with juries, there is room for people,
to appeal to
to appeal
to the heartstrings.
I think we're all human, and I think it's a natural thing to make human appeals, and I think they're very valid. That being said, I think if, say, put him in a corporate case, I think people run circles around him.
I honestly, dude, I think you nailed it on the head right there. I do think, yes, he does have, and I also think he might have too strong of a moral backbone.
He doesn't have that dog in him.
Yeah,
that
dude,
corporate dog in him.
So we're gonna slide Atticus,
and that's not a slight,
Right.
It's like I'm saying, his morals are too good for the law world.
And if you're at what is it, Spectre what's Spectre?
It changes names 50 times in the show.
But you wouldn't make him partner.
No
public defender. All right,
I'll
sounds
put him
good.
public defender. I think he stays public defender his entire career. I think that's where he belongs, and I think he's very good.
I think he likes that. I think it's fulfilling for him.
I think the public defenders, shout out public defenders.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very crucial part of the an underserved part of the criminal justice system. Moving on, we got Matthew Murdock, aka the Daredevil.
Yeah, I have no idea who this is.
Okay, so
give me a rundown.
Give
me your best case for where you'd put him.
Okay, so Matthew Murdock, as a young child, pushed a woman out of oncoming traffic, and a guy driving a semi truck of very hazardous chemicals had to slam on the brakes, and the chemicals spilled out and splashed him in the face, and he went completely blind.
Right.
And he was brought in and trained by ninjas.
Yeah, I think I'll represent myself.
But he did become he is probably the foremost lawyer in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And he specializes in superhuman defense cases. So whenever a Spider-Man gets wrongfully accused by, J. Jonah Jameson or Norman Osborn,
so
Matthew
it sounds
Murdock
like
is there
he's
to
fighting
get him
for
off.
the elite of our society, which is what corporate lawyers do.
But he's fighting for not the financial elite, but the superpowered, the metahumans. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of the whole plot point of Civil War, but I don't think superheroes, let's say, especially in the MCU, I don't think they ever adhere to any sort of laws. So I think his little niche that he fits in, if we're looking at this tier list and what put them in our world, I don't know. I think I'll represent myself because realistically, okay, so maybe he could be a public defender. So he could go there, but he's definitely can't be a paralegal because I mean that requires a lot of reading.
He gets very good at Braille.
Okay, they don't make law books in Braille.
Are you sure?
No.
How did he learn? Also, I will say
maybe he had Siri.
His other senses are so heightened that he can basically perceive the world.
He can perceive the law with his nose. Like what? Dude, I'll represent myself.
All right, we'll put it at
throw him down there, dude. Because the thing is, like, maybe if I'm Spider-Man, right? Maybe if I'm the Hulk, maybe I consider him could get OJ to walk. Yeah. Because in that case, there I'm OJ.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. So yeah, okay, that's a good point. For if you were a superhero,
Like if I were a Soup, like
that would be
I'd
different.
probably put him way up. But
That's fair.
like,
All
what is
right,
he gonna
that's
do
fair.
for me?
All right, it's
I
just
need
the
clerical
first,
work.
It's the
I need
first
someone
big
that's
twist.
nose to the grind, clerical work.
Yeah.
Hey, here's
And
the
he
law.
is busy. Like he's not gonna put in all nighters getting
Exactly.
you off because he's off fighting crime.
right.
as fucking
That's
Daredevil.
what I'm saying.
That's a very good point. All right, I was surprised by that, but I understand, and that's what this is all about: the
Yeah.
arguments, the justifications. So, all right, next, do you recognize this guy?
Oh, I recognize that guy.
Next, we got the Jew lawyer from Always Sunny. The Jew lawyer from Always Sunny.
Solid partner.
I believe he
partner.
without fail bests the gang
Oh,
in
yeah.
Always Sunny, and seems to have. He studies at Harvard, right?
Yeah.
He went to Harvard. And he
Maybe
knows his
Yale.
shit.
One of the two.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah. I went to Yale.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? Not Jewish, which he is canonically not Jewish, which did dock a couple points for me personally. But
All right, in
still,
that case, paralegal.
I'm
kidding.
I think
Solid
we got to
partner.
keep him at solid
I think
partner.
he's a solid partner. I think he represents himself well. I think he has proven himself to be able to use the law to his whim and dance around the gang every time.
He knows how to best
at
the
that.
gang.
I haven't seen his ability to get people like OJ to walk.
Yeah, so it's tough to put him into that
Yeah,
tier.
it's tough to put him in like, I will bend the law to my will.
Yeah.
It's more so, he knows his way around the ring. you know?
Yeah.
So a solid partner.
All right, I like that. Next we got Jessica.
Jessica.
from Suits.
She is one of my least favorite characters in Suits.
Okay.
I think I would put her in solid partner, first of all, as a tier.
She is.
Yeah, solid partner. It's not a slight, I guess, on the character. Well, I mean, it is, but more so the writing. It annoyed me that every time Jessica's character came up, she was just like, "Oh, I'm the named partner, and everything I do is correct." But we never really got to see her do anything.
Yeah, I got the
and
same
most of the
sense in the
stuff
episodes I watched.
that she accomplished through using other people, which is a valid tactic
Right.
and fair enough. Which is why I put her solid partner. Like she's proven in the show her ability to run a firm
And maneuver herself.
Yes, and maneuver.
Yeah.
She's a good leader of the firm. But if I'm looking at this list and I said, "Yo, I did some bad things and I need someone to get me out of it,"
She's not going to be at the
she's
top.
not. She's
All right.
not who I'm calling on.
That's solid. I like that. Next we got your girl Rachel Zane, Meghan
Rachel
Markle,
Zane,
probably
Meghan Markle.
the breakout star of Suits after she married Prince Harry.
Wow, yeah. Let's define women by their relationships with men, dude. Good one.
That's not what I'm saying, but that did kind of promote her to a bigger cast than she
Right.
would have been as a bit player on Suits.
I mean, I think she was really good on Suits.
Yeah,
Public defender.
public defender.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, the show wants you to think that she's a solid partner, but I think the reality of the situation is that she, well, maybe she could be a solid partner. I don't know, because I feel like solid partner, there's a lot of like gaps and like, oh, this person is a senior partner or a named partner, they can run this firm versus, yeah, their legal expertise would be helpful.
Right.
And like they could probably win a case. I honestly, yeah, put her as solid partner.
Solid partner.
I think she's fine.
I think I was tuned in with you on season 4-ish, where she's in law school, getting close to finish. What point does she graduate and start to like
Off screen, it just kind of happens.
Okay.
You have to. They make it really. They never like have a graduation ceremony. Like, oh, you're a lawyer now. It kind of just like one episode
She
she's
did
in
it.
law school, next episode she's
a lawyer.
she's an associate, and it's just like, okay, cool.
And I think it's
she has
fine
potential.
if we
Solid
I think
partner, like-
Suits spoilers are fair game.
Yeah.
Does she ever become a partner?
I honestly don't
Spectrum?
know. I
Okay.
can't remember.
All
But
right.
no, I feel like 20, 30 years of experience under
Yeah.
her belt, she can make a solid.
She would
partner.
do it.
Yeah,
I think I agree with you. And I saw her, she alphas that mean lady in mock trial at that one class.
Yeah.
That was
she
pretty
does.
cool.
That was. I mean, she's got that dog in her. She does. It's just, those two top tiers. Like you got to have that
Mm-hmm.
that X factor.
Yeah, and so we're
That's
getting
something
into
special.
we're
getting close to one that's got
to
that
some,
special something.
to some
We're getting to
ghosts.
we're getting to some
I
ghosts.
know. Very curious what you're talking about. So next we have, I don't think you're gonna know this one. This is Jackie Childers
No, I don't
from
know who that is.
Seinfeld. So
I'm not a Seinfeld watcher.
Kramer,
Not just like Seinfeld. It's just I
right?
haven't
You
watched
just
it.
never saw it. Kramer at one point. So there's a few episodes of Seinfeld where they really try to parody landmark legal cases in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those was at some point in the 90s, somebody got a McDonald's hot coffee and burned themselves
Yeah.
with it. And
I remember
there was
that.
no caution.
Famous
too hot.
case.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk of the town. Everyone knows the McDonald's coffee case.
Are you yanking my
No, I'm not
chain
yanking
right
your chain.
now?
No, like it's
yanking your
very
chain.
commonly referred to.
It was a huge deal.
deal.
And it was national news. And so Seinfeld parodied that with Kramer.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackie really almost wins the case. Almost
lost,
gets OJ
though,
to
so
walk,
public
but-
defender
but,
maybe.
But Kramer fucks him over. Kramer takes a settlement. Later on, Kramer turns his apartment into a cigar bar,
Right.
and it fucks up his face. And Jackie's gonna sue the tobacco company until again Kramer fucks him over,
Well,
gets
but
a settlement.
As a lawyer, aren't you supposed to have control of your client? Like, you shouldn't you prime them
Yes,
to be
but,
ready to
dude,
take
this
a
is
settlement?
Kramer we're talking about.
Yeah, public defender.
Wow, public
Oh,
defender, baby.
defender.
You know, my hunch would be to put him at solid partner, just because I've seen the behind the scenes of how
You
the-
can't
the
put someone that
extrapolated
hasn't won a case on
Yeah.
screen in solid partner.
That's the thing. I
he
do
has a
think
0
his
and
track
1
record. It's like 0-3 because
0-3?
Kramer. He
Dude,
eventually the
come on,
series ends
bro.
with him getting a restraining order against Kramer because he's like ruining his reputation as a lawyer.
right, and he's tossing blame around at that point.
All right, I think that's fair.
Public defender.
Now we've narrowed down the field to some absolute
Yes.
legends. So next up on the list, I know you're excited about this one. We got Jeffrey Winger of Community.
Jeff Winger. I don't think he's actually a lawyer. I think that was that's the. I don't know if it's necessarily a conspiracy theory because I don't know if it's been proven canon, but I don't think he's a real lawyer. I think it was a ruse.
Well, what do you mean? It's canon that he didn't get his law degree.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
but he did practice. We do know that he did have. a practice
speaking
at
of
one
practicing
point.
law without a law degree.
I know. Well, that's what I'm
We
saying. A
gotta-
lot. When I was looking stuff up for this, I saw like 8 Reddit posts from like some of probably the most annoying people ever that are like, Jeff Winger is just Mike in 15 years.
Yeah, but he doesn't got that photographic superhuman ability.
He doesn't. But what about the 9/11 argument? It's gotten so many people off, dude. It's gotten so many people to walk.
It has. You know what? I'm really struggling with him because I want to put him at paralegal at best, but the 9/11 argument could get OJ to walk.
That's what I'm thinking. Winger might be in the get OJ to walk category just off those arguments.
I think it hinges solely on the fact if he can bring up 9/11 in an organic
if he can
way
get
into
it
the
up.
argument.
And he's shown that he can do that.
He does have that ability, but also I think we haven't really talked about this yet, but taking in the context of universe of Community,
Yeah.
and we actually did talk about with Daredevil, trying to apply that to real life,
Yeah.
where I put him. I'm putting him at paralegal.
Yeah, honestly, I think
if Jeff Winger doesn't have the
yeah.
haha funny factor of the 9/11,
He's getting laughed out of a courtroom.
Yeah, he's
I think you're right. I think we probably have to put Jeff at paralegal. He could win any case imaginable at Greendale Community College.
At Greendale Community College,
with
he's got
with
a
the dean on the jury,
Yeah.
but I agree. In the year of our Lord 2024, in this world, I think it would be tough for him. I think that's fair. Next,
God of Law, Saul Goodman,
God of Law.
Unreal,
Personally, I haven't watched Better Call Saul.
unreal.
But I figured that would just be the consensus.
Well, it's really interesting. I actually do consider maybe putting him could get OJ to walk because his tactics are super illegal, pretty
Okay.
much. He dances around the law a lot. But that being said, knowing how to do that
That's what
successfully
it's all about. Yeah.
kind of makes you God of Law.
Yeah, I think so.
And being able to perfectly manipulate and get people out. Like, come on. He represented
Walter White.
Walter White, dude.
Yeah. You get God of Law
Come on,
status for
God
that.
of Law.
I figured he would just automatically, he'll go to God
Easiest,
of Law.
I think easiest placement on this tier list.
Next we got Uncle Jack. Uncle Jack.
Come on, why is he here? He was here because you thought I wouldn't put anyone in. I think I'll represent myself. You didn't expect the Daredevil to be put there.
I did not expect Murdoch to go there. Yes, so that's why Uncle Jack is here.
I think I'll represent. That guy is a fucking joke.
Basically canonical pedophile.
Just put him there and move on.
Super self-conscious about his hands. Very funny. But yeah, if this guy is representing you, you're more or less fucked.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going up against the Jew lawyer.
Detriment to my legal case.
All right. All right. Now we got your boy Harvey. Harvey's next.
Harvey's got to be God of Law, dude. I mean, I think without Harvey, the show Suits is the worst show on the planet. Now, that's not true, but he does make that show. And also,
I agree.
His whole character is that he's the God of the law.
Yeah.
And he doesn't lose.
Yes, and so
like, when you have a show that's about lawyers, let's look at the Seinfeld guy, right?
Yes.
He's on the show 0-3 record.
Yeah.
Harvey on a show about lawyers fighting cases, undefeated.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose. Even when he loses, it wasn't his fault.
Yeah. Yeah, he got screwed by the DA or the FBI or whatever.
He's him.
Yeah.
He's literally him.
And like
I will put him above Saul Goodman. Wow. I think he's the best lawyer on this tier list.
Okay, we'll move him right here then. We'll
if I ever did anything wrong in my life and Harvey Specter existed in real life,
you'd call him first.
I'd call him. He's my first call. He's speed dial 1 in my contacts. Damn. And then I'd probably start doing more illegal shit.
Yeah.
having someone like Harvey as your lawyer, you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna start doing illegal stuff now.
Yeah.
I'll just start doing it. He'll get me out of it. Why not?
Yeah. I when I watched those episodes of Suits with you, like I had it felt the writing was like a little like, all right, I get it. And some of the performances I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, we're doing kind of a lot here, but every time Harvey's on screen, no matter how like even sometimes the lines feel cheesy, I'm just like, this dude's a fucking badass. I rock with him heavy. He's gonna get out of whatever's going on.
Harvey Specter's him.
Yeah. I like Harvey and I figured he'd go there. So now we got 2 lawyers that I know you know familiar left, and 2 that I'm pretty certain you probably don't know.
No, I know 3 of the 4. I don't know the Simpsons guy.
Okay, so you know
Legally
Elle Woods.
Blonde? Come on.
Okay, okay.
OJ's walking.
All
with
right.
Elle Woods. OJ's walking. She's the goat, man.
Elle Woods from Legally Blonde could get OJ to walk.
For sure.
I think we are all in agreement.
The question
with that.
I have is, would she get OJ to walk?
Right. We did.
I think if she's proving to someone that she can get OJ to walk,
if
she'll
someone
do it.
challenged her,
If someone challenged her, but
Yeah.
I don't know if she'd take that case.
Yeah, I think you're right. And
I mean, Elle Woods is her.
we did Legally Blonde Junior in 8th grade. That was our 8th grade.
Were you Elle Woods?
I was not involved with theater at all.
You got the hair for it.
I'm blonde. I'm a dirty
Legally.
blonde. Legally. On my license, yeah, I am legally blonde. Yeah, Elle Woods could get OJ to walk. I guess I was going to say some other stuff about Legally Blonde, but I honestly
I don't know who this
remember it that
Simpsons
much.
Joker is.
So the Simpsons guy,
Where would you put him?
hold on one second. I'm trying to remember his name. It's Simpsons.
Simpsons lawyer guy. Let me Google that real quick.
His name is Hutz. Yeah, Lionel Hutz.
So how about you place him on tier list
Yeah.
and then explain to the audience?
We're gonna put him at public defender, maybe. He is really one of the only lawyers we see in Springfield, voiced by the late legend Phil Hartman, which probably is the reason that bumps him up from paralegal at best to public defender, because we honor the fallen goat, Phil Hartman. But he honestly, he is, every time we see him, morally corrupt, slimy guy, and not good at hiding it at all. But he gets away with it because Homer is so stupid. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to spend too much time on The Simpsons. He's not a good lawyer, but he's funny,
Yeah.
All right, we got 2 heavy hitters to round us out here. We'll start with your boy Mike.
Mike could get OJ to walk.
Really?
I think so. I think, because here's the thing, right? You learn your entire law career under him, the GOAT of all law.
Yeah.
Harvey.
Yes.
Plus-
Harvey's your right hand man.
Plus, you combine the fact that he has a literal superpower. Like, he's not human. Like, the way
And explain
photographic
that.
memory
Yeah.
is portrayed in the show is like, let's say I have a book and I read the book once, I can recall every single word on any
Yeah.
page at any time in my life.
And
That's
read
ridiculous.
it like
I like exactly like recite the book
Yeah.
from memory. Every single
By
book, every
looking
single
at it.
page he's looked at in his
Yeah.
life, which is so ridiculous. That's
Right.
not real.
we have to pretend this guy has a supercomputer with
Exactly.
infinite random access memory for
Exactly.
their brain.
And when you think of it like that, it's just how does he lose, right?
Mhm.
Like how do you even beat that? Which is why I think he could get OJ to walk. I don't want to say God of Law because
Because he doesn't ever actually get his law degree.
no, he does. Spoiler alert.
Okay,
But
that's fine.
the thing is, in a very similar way to Atticus Finch, he has too much of a heart in him. Like he lets the emotions of
Mhm.
things get to him, whereas someone like Saul Goodman or Harvey Specter, they are
Has no
in it to
qualms
win.
about that. Yeah,
They will
That's
do
interesting.
whatever it takes to win, and Mike is not that guy.
I like that. Just out of curiosity, if you're gonna, you're going L Woods or Mike as your
That's a
defense
case by
lawyer.
case basis.
Okay.
Like if I've done
Something slimy and bad.
honestly, I think it depends if I'm suing someone or if I'm being
If
sued.
you're the defendant,
If
or
I'm
the,
suing someone, I'm going with
other word.
Mike. But if I'm being defended, it's Elwoods.
nice. I like that, dude.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, take us home. The GOAT, Lewis
Lewis
Litt,
Litt.
my favorite character from the
Lewis
show.
Litt. I'm gonna get lit up.
You're about to get lit up, dude. This tier list is about to get lit up.
Shit. Where do I even put Lewis Litt? Wow.
We know his
I mean, he's at least solid partner.
his
At least
dream
solid
for the episodes I watched was
Yeah.
to make solid partner.
At least solid partner. I'm trying to think. Could he get OJ to walk?
It would have
even
to
in
be the
civil.
right set of circumstances, right?
I think no, because Lewis Litt always self-sabotages.
Yeah, right.
So I'm saying we go to glove defense of OJ.
Yeah.
I don't think Lewis tells OJ to stop taking his anti-arthritis meds.
Yeah, it
right?
gets the
Like
glove fits
I think
perfectly.
the glove. I think with Lewis Litt, the glove fits with OJ.
That's really funny.
So-
so we'll keep him at solid
Yeah,
partner.
solid partner. I think he's a really strong corporate lawyer, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to like trials of that nature of getting OJ to walk, I
Mm.
don't think. I think he messes up something. I think he messes up something because he is trying to impress Harvey.
I think that's a very
I think Harvey,
yeah.
he gets the firm gets
Yeah.
the case, and Harvey's like, oh, I'll get him to walk, and then Lou's like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
Watch, and then he's like, oh, we'll have him put on the glove, and then it's fine, it's foolproof because we'll have him put the little plastic glove, latex
Right,
glove underneath,
right.
so it won't fit, and then it fits.
He would have
And it's
botched
just
it,
like,
yeah.
oh.
And then
And Harvey's just
that's
like,
a
I would have had him
national
stop
embarrass-
taking his anti-arthritis medication, so his
God
fingers.
damn it,
inflamed.
Lewis. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
I think that's. I honestly am very happy with this tier
I
list.
think we've compiled a really, really solid tier list here, man.
I'm glad that I was able to find a lawyer that fits into every tier. Like
me too.
There's
was
oftentimes
worried.
tier lists where you don't get someone in every single one.
Yeah. Yeah, let me go down. All right, so we got God of Law, Harvey, and Saul Goodman.
Right. Goats.
Could get OJ to walk, L Woods and Mike. Solid partner, Jew lawyer, Jessica. Yes. Rachel Lewis.
Mhm.
Public defender, maybe. Atticus Finch. That's gonna be a controversial
I
one,
don't think it will. I feel like
Well,
my
you did have a
reasoning's
very
perfectly
good.
solid.
You had a very good reasoning for it. Jackie Childers.
like if public
Lionel Hutz.
if I need a public defender, like we're
You're
talking the
going
world
to-
of public
you're going-
defenders, Atticus Finch is the go
he's the LeBron of
public defenders.
Yeah.
But it's like
But we're
if
talking
someone
big
someone's the
money
goat
here.
of Little League,
Yeah.
like
It's like
does that mean? I mean, we've seen it's crazy.
it's getting cut out, man. Don't worry about it. Paralegal at best. We got Jeff Winger. Sorry, Jeff. But that's
Fake lawyer.
By the end of the show, it's like he's come to terms with he's not a lawyer.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
a teacher and a friend.
Exactly. He gives up being a lawyer. How can you be a poet? No.
Yeah, I got you. And then the lowest tier, I think I'll represent myself. The big shocker for me, Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, in there. But again,
I'm not a superhero.
you had spot on reasoning
Not
for
a
that. I think
superhero.
it was very right. And of course, Uncle Jack with his big fake
Uncle
hands.
I can't believe he's even on this list.
I had to throw him on. There.
I mean,
Come
you
on.
had to have someone that I'd rather represent myself for.
Ryan, we've just completed an hour of radio, of internet
And we
radio.
still haven't talked about the Drake video.
God damn it! All right. That's how we'll close it out. So,
All right, Drake video.
I think we touched on it
Real or fake?
briefly, but yeah, this was a big. So for those of you that don't know, a few weeks ago,
Just look up Drake video.
look up Drizzy Glizzy leak, Glizzy Lizzy, and basically what happened is the GOAT, the sixth god, the king,
Drake.
the boy,
Right.
he had a video leak.
I think he
/
leaked
go
it.
viral, but that's the thing.
He
So,
leaked it.
so this video is him kind of stroking his thing
Yeah.
on his bed, laid down. But we
Swinging it back and forth.
and our he's really flopping it around.
Like one of those wacky inflatable arm tube guys.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. And here's the thing: is for Drake's been in the public eye for coming on 20
His
years
penis
now.
is comically large in that video.
And his dick is so
it's
big.
outrageously big.
And we've never gotten a Drake leak in the 2 decades that he's been an A-lister.
Right? It's like, okay, it's like imagine if Tom Holland was like 7 foot tall and no one ever thought to address that.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like, no, it's a thing. Like, okay, if you have what Drake is proposing that he has,
You almost would have think we would have
someone would have
sooner.
seen it, noticed it. Like, he's got to
Yeah.
be wearing gray sweatpants at some point, right?
Yeah.
And you got to see it, just like the outline
Like,
of it, right?
what the hell?
Like, I mean, we got Jay Beebs, right? He's
Yeah.
packing.
oh,
And
yeah, we
we've
have gotten that
we've gotten
leaked.
those leaks, and it's
Yeah.
also a thing that people like
Kanye.
know.
Yeah.
But like Drake,
Like he's been
No-
so
no one's ever
airtight on
talked
that
about-
for so long.
right? No one's ever
he's,
talked about that.
He's, rapped about women trying to steal his sperm or whatever. But like now we get this leak and it's a video that he's filming.
He's filming. He's
He's filming this video. That's the
Right.
big thing for
He
me.
is.
He's so like, who are you sending that to? Drake? Because you're smarter
Probably
than
Mrs.
that.
Drake.
We know you're smarter than that, but there is no Mrs. Drake. That's his whole thing.
I want to be Mrs. Drake.
Damn, I would have to consider. I would have, if he offered, I'd have to consider it. But what we came to the consensus that it's like honestly probably more likely than not at this point that the OVO Drizzy team probably.
Oh, I think that
Put
video
that
is
out.
100% fake. Because also, here's the thing.
You think it's a fake dick?
I think it's fake. I think it's a prosthetic.
Prosthetic dick.
Yes, I mean, the technology for that has come so far in movies, right? Because most like movie sex scenes use prosthetics.
Yeah. Thank
Except
God.
for what's that one movie? Saltburn. Saltburn. That was his real.
That's
dick.
real dong.
He's hanging dong.
And it's
That's
like,
real.
and I know a lot was made about Saltburn, and we don't have to get into all of it, but like, I thought it was nice to see dong.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need more dong representation.
It should like if we're getting like, cause anyone that watches the show knows I'm a huge fan of boobs in TVs and movies.
Right.
I think it's good.
It's a quality.
It's nice, but like we need to have equal representation. We got to have dong
Exactly.
to match. There needs to be a hashtag dong to match.
Hashtag dong. Dong Draper.
Hashtag dongle draper. Yes.
No, I think the whole Drake video is fake. I think it was a brilliant publicity move because it got everyone talking.
Yeah, but it's like,
It's no,
but why? What was the publicity? Like, does Drake need that publicity?
maybe it was an ego thing. Maybe he wants that publicity.
that's honestly what it comes
maybe
down
maybe
to,
he
right?
feels like he's falling off a little bit.
He's like, I gotta get
Like,
Schlong
yo, I need to
out
get
there.
my name on the Twitter trending real quick.
And he did, dude. Driz Gliz was out there.
It was. It is a crazy video. I mean, it was a talk of our group chat for a good
A few days.
few days. It was a talk of my work. Good few days.
3
Like,
days.
yeah. It was a talk of the town. But
That's the talk
I
of
think
the town.
Drake leaked dick video fake. Fake. Not real.
Fuck, I'm not quick enough these days. I'm losing my touch. That's what I meant to put, was the gasp.
You heard it here. I'll stand by that. I'll say it to Drake's face.
Yeah. Would
I'd
you?
say it to Drake's face, and then I'd ask to check.
Let me get it. I'd say to
Yeah.
Drake's face, then I'd say to
I
Drake's
feel like
lap.
I also feel like it's suspicious that there's only one video,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
If it was a fucking
if there was a
leak-
montage, if there was like a photo album drop,
Yeah, right.
Like that would be way more believable. The fact
Right.
that's one video of him like perfectly framed in his bed,
Yeah.
just swinging back and forth.
I do
Come on,
agree. That's a
man.
little
Come on.
suspicious. That's a little.
Come on. What's that one? The Occam's razor, is that the most obvious
Yeah, the most obvious answer is often
most
the
often
right.
the most
yeah.
correct one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fake. And same way I think the lottery's rigged.
Explain.
Okay, so listen, if you're going to rig anything in your life, like
Yeah.
we talk Back to the Future, we talk about everyone's saying like, oh, if I know the lottery, if I could time travel and I knew the lottery numbers, I'd
Just
rig
play
it.
those numbers.
So you've seen magicians, they sleight of hand every time they pick a random audience member from the crowd. They know it's pre-planned.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna rig one thing in anything, what would you rig?
I guess the lottery.
The lottery. So
The NCAA.
I think the lottery is rigged. I think it's simply a tool used by the government to tax the poor.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And get people's hopes up, and then they pick a winner, and they give them all the money.
Okay, so why do they pick this guy? Because he is
Because
going
I think so. You look at the statistics of lottery winners, right?
Yeah.
Most often, as soon as they win the lottery, they go broke, like very shortly after. I think they pick people predisposed to do that, so they don't have the normal everyday person entering the elite.
Holy shit, Ryan. That's
Because
real.
it services the same thing, where it's like, oh, you have this promise of getting rich quick, you get taxed. Well, it doesn't affect the actual elite at all, because it doesn't bring any common people into that bracket.
Damn.
I think the lottery is rigged.
No, that's low key. The last 10 minutes of this episode might get you on Joe Rogan next, dude. That was you spit some game right
I'm
there.
just saying, like, if you're gonna rig anything to give people false hope and gatekeep the corporate elite, it's gonna be the lottery.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on top of that, government has every incentive to do it because they tax 50% off every lottery.
Right, exactly. That's
so
the
the
big
$1 billion
thing.
lotteries, they get $500 million to spend on useless stuff.
To give it right back.
Exactly.
You're gonna give it right back.
Exactly.
And yeah, the whole system itself is designed to just get people to donate their money to the Fed.
You're sounding woke now, dude.
You got me. You just made me based.
I know. You've seen the third eye.
damn.
BlackRock, Illuminati.
BlackRock,
Yeah.
cafe, the restaurant.
No. What is that? What's called BlackRock?
There's a BlackRock grill where they cook the steaks
Oh,
at your
shit.
table.
Is that the same thing as the scary billionaires?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if it's the
Is it?
same name. It might be.
I'm gonna Google this real quick.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of wherever they go for the Baphomet, for like the crazy rituals. Oh, too many Cat
Rich?
Williams videos popping up on my timeline.
What are they called? Funds? The like Vanguard? What are they? Mutual funds?
Yeah. Hedge funds.
Hedge funds. They're a corporate hedge fund. It's or is Deep Rock something? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyways, you know what? Lottery's rigged. That's the moral of the story. Lottery's rigged. I think anyone who plays the lottery.
Is it dumbass?
No, my mom plays the lottery. Relax. No, I don't think they're dumb. I've played the lottery before because, like, you know,
What if you win?
What if you win, right? Like, what if you pick the same numbers as the winner, right? As the person they rigged to win. But I think if anyone's going to rig anything, it's going to be the lottery, right?
Yeah, or the NFL playoffs.
Well, those are
The
already
Super
rigged.
Bowl.
Come on,
To get
bro.
Joe Biden elected.
Come on. Are you kidding me right now? I've never seen a more rigged Super Bowl in my life.
God, what a
dude.
rigged Super Bowl.
How much do you think those refs are making?
More than NBA refs. But we got to end this show because I'll start talking about NBA. I'll start talking about officiating practices, and then we'll never get out of here. Did you have fun?
I had fun. Did you have fun?
I had so much fun, man. I'm really glad that you did this, and I hope my dream is that one day you'll come back, and maybe one day we'll do a all of us in the apartment together episode.
That would be
think that would be so
the most
cool.
electric episode ever.
We would just have so many laughs, don't you think?
I would laugh probably twice at least.
At least.
Like, I'm thinking two good laughs.
Just as many as you laughed this time, yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say? We covered a lot.
Anything else I want to say? I mean, always.
Do you want to plug? Yeah, plug yourself.
Shout out to my girlfriend,
Shout out Hannah.
Hannah Benavides.
Who will
Shout out,
appear on the show.
shout out to my parents, Tim and Albina Duggan. Shout out to my good friend Hunter Davidson. Thank you for having me on this pod. And I don't know. Shout out to having a good time.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. Shout out to having a good
Shout out to having a good
time.
I think people need to have more good times more often. Just kickbacks. I think we need more. I think we need more kickbacks.
Why aren't we chilling more often?
Let's kick back.
Let's kick back. Let's kick back right now.
Fuck it.
I love you guys, and I hope you enjoy the episode, and we'll see you next week. Okay, thank you.